If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. Now, let's dive into today's video. Hi, my name is Aaron and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about moving my plants from my old apartment to my new apartment, and we're going to dive into some to or not to options when moving plants. So in this video, we're going to notice a couple of different clips that I've compiled together of me as I'm moving with the plants. You're going to get some footage, some B-roll shots as well. Maybe I'll insert some here. And before we jump into exactly what the move looked like and how I finished setting up all of my plants here in the new apartment, I wanted to talk through some notes that I jotted down as I was moving that I thought of for this video. Again, we're going to call this a to or not to section. First off, watering. To water or not to water, and here are some of my notes. If you're planning a move and you're going to plan on watering your plants first before you move, I would say do so about 3 to 4 days prior to your actual move date. This will allow the plant to be well watered prior to moving, and then once moved, if you forget about it or if you get too busy, at least there's some moisture there that should hold them out for a few extra days after the move. Watering prior to the move can also keep your plant firm and your soil compact as you travel, which is only going to help with all the movement that the plant's going to doing as you're taking it off shelves into boxes or containers, into cars or trucks, and then traveling with that plant to your new location. Now, more of a con to watering before the move is that your plant can be a little bit heavier. The water and the moisture in the soil can weigh down the plant. Therefore, compiling several plants into one box can make the box seem very heavy. Where if you don't water, you're able to put multiple plants in a box, much lighter options, and then move multiple plants at one time instead of 2 or 3 at a time due to their weight. Next up, to clean or not to clean. Now, cleaning your plants is something that you should be doing regularly, of course. You want them to get as much sunlight as possible, and to do so, they need to be clear of debris. Before the move, some of the options that I did was not clean. And the reason for that is because once I got to the new location, I wanted to clean all the plants, water all the plants, get them nice and pretty and presentable so that I can put them on display into their new home. Speaking of the new home, I specifically got new shelves for the plants in this location. Knowing that I was transitioning to a smaller apartment, I wanted to get something that I could put more plants on at a time instead of just 1 or 2 plants in several spots, or a display, which is what I had previously of the plants. And lastly, to buy or not to buy. Now, a few months prior to my move, I was trying to be strict and say, I'm not buying plants. I'm not going to acquire any plants. I don't need to move with more than what I currently have. I failed at this. I found more plants to buy. I went on trips with friends to go take a look at a couple of plants. I traded some plants. I acquired some new ones. Shout out to my friend Nick, who actually handed me a couple of plants. So I actually failed at this, but it is something to think about. If you're traveling with a bunch of plants, should you be acquiring more and buying more as you're preparing to move? Or if you have the new space prior, I guess the perk of that would just be that you can put those plants into their new home and then travel with only plants from the old house. Something to think about. Now that we've talked about some twos and or two knots, let's take a look at what I did as I traveled over, and here's some clips to show you what that looked like. All right, so it's moving day for the plants. I don't know if I should be nervous, scared, or what. At this point, I've only moved over my IKEA cabinet and I built some shelves in the new location. But today my friend is going to come help me move over my collection, everything from my room, the living room, and even some extras within the space here at the old apartment. So let's see what happens as we move all this stuff. Shouldn't be too hard, putting it all in bins, throwing it in the car, getting it over there. It's about a 10-minute drive away. We're not going very far, so I'm not too stressed about that. But with more than 50 plants to move over, some of them are not gonna make it. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Some of them will be trash just due to not taking care of them properly here while I move them. Others will make their way over and then find out that I don't have space for them. So I may let a friend have them or I may sell them. We'll see what happens with those plants. Until then, though, stick around and find out how we set up the new place. All right, so today I'm going to set up my Millsbo cabinet here in the new apartment. I got to clean all the glass. I need to clean the bases, piece it back together, and start putting the plants in. This is probably going to be a little bit of a time lapse and or just over a few days. Honestly, I'm taking my time with this, but at least I have it over here now and I can start putting the plants in the actual cabinet. So there we go. I've moved, all the plants are in their new home. I'm gonna work on some lighting for this space. I've got some lights already on the shelves, but I wanna add some more lamps so that way as the sun goes down with my window here, I can actually bring some additional light to some of the plants that are on their cadenza here. Once that's set, I should be good for a while. I don't need to acquire any more plants. Plants are watered, the plants are clean. These are all the topics that I talked about here in this video. So we should be good after that point. Now I would love to hear from you. Have you moved with plants? If so, tell me down below in the comments what are some of your to-dos or not to-dos when traveling and moving your plants. Until next time, I'll see you soon.